Saudi woman given 34-year prison sentence for using Twitter. Best UFO picture ever found after 30 years missing. Russia unveils new rocket-launching robot dog. Two of Baba Vanga's predictions for 2022 have come true. Lawyers with chips implanted in bid to cut legal costs. Plasma breakthrough could let humans live on Mars. The world's shortest flight takes 74 seconds. Chocolate Falls looking glamorous after monsoonal storms.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It's Thursday, August 18th, and here are your top stories. A Saudi student at Leeds University who had returned home to the kingdom for a holiday has been sentenced to 34 years in prison for having a Twitter account and for following and retweeting dissidents and activists. Selma Al-Shahab is 34 years old and a mother of two young children. She was initially sentenced to serve 3 years in prison for the crime of using an internet website to cause public unrest and destabilize civil and national security.
But an appeals court on Monday, August 15th, handed down the new sentence, 34 years in prison, followed by a 34-year travel ban, after a public prosecutor asked the court to consider other alleged crimes. According to The Guardian, the new charges include the allegation that Shahab was assisting those who seek to cause public unrest and destabilize civil and national security by following their Twitter accounts and by retweeting their tweets. It is believed that Shahab may still be able to seek a new appeal in the case.
On August 4th, 1990, two hikers near Kelvin in Scotland took a photograph of a mysterious diamond-shaped flying object hovering in the middle of the sky. Later, the two hikers brought the photo to Scotland's Daily Record newspaper for publication. But instead, the newspaper handed the image over to the British Ministry of Defence, which kept it secret until now. Thanks to the efforts of British journalist David Clark, after 13 years of research, the groundbreaking image has finally resurfaced.
Reportedly, the hikers took a series of 6 photos, one of which shows a diamond-shaped object that can be seen flying in the sky, while a fighter jet can be spotted in the background not too far from it. The photo, taken in August 1990, named Calvine Photo, had disappeared for 32 years before resurfacing. This photo is a copy of one of the original prints, kept by former RAF officer Craig Lindsay. Lindsay was the RAF press officer in Scotland. He passed the prints to the Ministry of Defence in London, and that's when they disappeared.
A video clip shared online by Russia's state-owned news agency RIA Novosti shows the robot prowling across a conference room floor on what looks like 4 legs. The robot's legs can bend, turn the robot around, and carry it forward and backward. The legs can also lower the robot so that it appears to be lying on the ground. The robot dog debuted on Monday, August 15th at Russia's Army 2022 International Military Technical Forum.
A spokesperson for the engineers who developed the robot told the Russian news agency that the robot can operate in civilian or wartime scenarios. It can travel through war-torn areas to deliver medications and survey its surroundings. The spokesperson said it can also move or fire weapons. RIA Novitsky also reported in a post on Telegram, according to an English translation reported by Vice, that the robot can be engaged in target designation, patrolling, and security.
Blind Bulgarian mystic Baba Vanga, who is said to have predicted the 9/11 attacks, Brexit, and the death of Princess Diana and Barack Obama's presidency, had made predictions for 2022, and it appears that 2 of them have come true. The first one Baba Vanga had predicted was that several Asian countries and Australia will be hit with intense bouts of floods. Secondly, Baba Vanga had also suggested large cities will be hit by water shortages as a result of drought. Her visions are said to be 85% correct. She died in 1996.
Baba Vanga left behind predictions that ran until the year 5079, the year she believed the world would end. In her prediction for 2022, and in reality, much of the east coast of Australia experienced heavy rainfall and flooding this year. On August 12th, a drought was officially declared in several parts of the UK. Earlier, Portugal and Italy told their citizens to restrict their water usage. The blind mystic also predicted in 2022 another pandemic would start in Siberia, Scientists would discover a lethal virus, aliens would arrive on Earth via an asteroid, and that virtual reality would supplant real life.
A report from the British Law Society suggested that lawyers of the future could bill their clients by units of attention, monitored by computers directly connected to their brains. The report forecasted that brain implants could become the iPhone of the future in the legal profession, because corporate clients will press for chips as an efficiency measure, as it would cut legal costs, as well as reduce the number of solicitors needed to work on complex cases.
If this technology could communicate just one command per second, it could be used to control a wheelchair. Or for communication, on average, we type at around 40 words per minute.
The report predicted lawyers might try to gain an advantage over competitors and try to stay ahead of increasingly capable artificial intelligence systems by using neurotechnology to improve their workplace performance. Australian professor at the University of Sydney Law School, Alan McKay, said one can imagine changes to billing that may be brought about by the attention monitoring capacities of neurotechnology. Neurotechnology can also be seen in the form of a headset, wristband, or helmet.
Before humans colonize Mars, scientists will have to overcome certain critical problems. Mars has neither the oxygen for humans nor the fuel for the machinery and equipment we need to live. But Professor Vasco Guerra of the University of Lisbon said a new plasma breakthrough could help create the oxygen needed for human life on Mars. The same system could help break apart carbon dioxide molecules to make green fuels and recycle chemicals. The new research is published in the Journal of Applied Physics.
Plasma can easily flow into and take the shape of a container and will expand, redistributing itself to evenly fill that container.
Plasma is often called the fourth state of matter, along with solid, liquid, and gas. Professor Guerra said, plasma contains free charged atoms, electrons, and ions that can be used to produce oxygen. When the bullet-like electrons collide with a carbon dioxide molecule, they can directly decompose it. Guerra also said, this energy can be directed to the decomposition of carbon dioxide. Scientists speculate that the same system could help break down carbon dioxide molecules to produce cleaner fuels and recycle chemicals.
Did you know there's a flight out there so short it only takes 1 minute and 14 seconds? It's so short because the route is just 2.7 kilometers. Some might think it's crazy to fly such a short distance, but the alternative is a 20-minute boat ride through notoriously choppy seas. The flight goes between the island of Papua Westray and Westray in the Scottish archipelago of Orkney. It costs £70, but going by the cost per kilometers traveled, it also makes it the costliest flight in the world.
A travel vlogger, Noel Phillips, has documented his trip on the world's shortest flight in one single video, clocking in at 1 minute and 14 seconds. The flight operates twice a day with Longan Air. It gets people across the water and can carry up to 9 passengers in close to 1 minute, with the record being 53 seconds. The local council has suggested that a bridge be built to connect the two islands, but nothing has been authorized so far. For the time being, the plane is still regularly used by locals and tourists alike.
The media reported in late July that monsoon rains have got the chocolate churning at Grand Falls or Chocolate Falls in Arizona. Chocolate Falls is the largest waterfall in the state. The falls, 45 miles east of Flagstaff, Arizona, most times are just a trickle. However, recent monsoon rains ramped up the Little Colorado River and the volume of water over the falls. It's like a scene from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, except these chocolate falls actually exist.
Chocolate Falls is over 181 feet tall, rivals the height of Niagara Falls, dwarfs the Statue of Liberty, and is just a few feet shorter than the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy. To catch the falls with water, the Navajo Tourism Department recommends keeping an eye on the upstream water gauge near Winslow, Arizona. The waterfall will have water if the flow is over 200 cubic feet per second. Recent videos were taken when the river pumps 2,000 to 3,000 cubic feet per second of water over the falls.
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. Let's make every day a fun day. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.